Turo, the ride-sharing app, is going public this year, but is it a good investment? During this video, we'll explore how the peer-to-peer ride-sharing app has grown in popularity. Will the Turo bubble burst? When will Turo go public? And lastly, is Turo a good long-term investment given the evolution of autonomous driving?
AAA is projecting that 95% of all holiday travel will be on the road this holiday season.
This spike in demand for rental cars has led to a shortage, resulting in a boom in peer-to-peer car sharing. The most popular of these car-sharing platforms has been Turo, and entrepreneurs are hopping on the trend. With the slogan, "Way better than a rental car," this company's led by CEO Andre Haddad.
Selection, price, and convenience, I think, are the reasons why we think fundamentally we are better than traditional rental car.
So I wanted to do a price comparison between National Rental Car Center and Turo, and I selected the dates September 14th through September 17th, and you can see it says here, sold out, we're sorry, but this location has no vehicles available during the selected dates or times. And when you look at Turo, there's a much different experience. There is a large selection and very competitive pricing. Rental companies already sold off a huge chunk of their fleets early on in the pandemic when no one was traveling in order to raise cash and stay afloat. As a result, they're now dealing with a shortage of cars on their own lots, which has sent the current rental prices up in a major way and making it very easy for Turo to be competitive in the rental vehicle space. So how does Turo work? It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. If you're just trying to rent the car, you just find the perfect car, book your trip, and hit the road. But if you're trying to be a host, it's a little bit more complicated. As a host, you want to study the terms of service. You also want to look at your market and the business. Then you want to select the right car, and if you choose, begin to scale your fleet. There are many options to join: Facebook groups, there are academies, there's even apps such as Street Smarts, CarSync that offer automation, messaging, reimbursement, car metrics, fleet calendar, pricing, and even GPS tracking. In this last year, semiconductor shortages have created idle plants, pushing new car prices higher, making used car prices more appealing. According to the CPI, or Consumer Price Index for all urban customers, used cars and trucks, in the U.S. city average, there was a sudden acceleration, one of the largest one-month increases in the category since the government began tracking the CPI since 1953. So why is this absolutely perfect timing for Turo to go public? I believe this is going to paint a false representation of the numbers and growth that Turo's experiencing due to market conditions that just aren't normal. So the next question, is there a Turo bubble and is it about to burst? And just to set it up, Bill is a super host. He's got an academy where he teaches people how to use Turo. He's got a business surrounding this. He's scaling back using the cars himself, and he's actually created a 16-week academy, which I think is a little much, but I still agree with what he has to say.
So do you have any insights if you were to quickly maybe try to predict where the market's going? You know, I know we're kind of in this weird place, but I'm sure a lot of people would be interested to know what you think.
So here are my thoughts. We're certainly in a bubble right now. We're riding a wave of demand and rates that we've never seen before on Turo. Most of us are renting our vehicles out at rates that we never thought we'd be able to get for them. Most of us through the summer were completely booked out every day. We, in the past 6 to 9 months, have gotten a lot of market share away from the rental car companies who were just out of vehicles, and or if they had vehicles, they were charging $300, $400, $500 a day for those vehicles. So this has been an amazing time for Turo to capture that market share and host people who would have never chosen Turo before. So there are hundreds of hosts coming onto the platform, I think, every week. I mean, we're just in this explosive growth mode in terms of hosts and vehicles coming into the market. I'll give you an example. I did some market research on Charlotte, North Carolina at the beginning of the summer. And I think they had right around 450 vehicles in that market. And I went back and revisited it not even 8 weeks later, and it's grown by over 200 vehicles just in Charlotte, have hit the platform. And this is happening in cities around the country. So all of that to say, we're in this huge wave, this huge bubble, but like all good bubbles do, this bubble is going to burst. and this wave is going to crash into the shore, and things are going to normalize. Now, there's going to be a point where the car manufacturers are able to begin manufacturing again. The chip shortage will ease. Rental car companies will be able to scale back up their fleets. Hertz, I just read today, is coming out of bankruptcy, so they're kind of rebuilding their business. So things are going to normalize. It may be 6 months, it may be a year, but our demand is probably going to normalize a bit. And when I say normalize, I mean come down a little bit. Our prices are the daily rates that we can charge are going to normalize and come back down. Instead of getting $110 a day for that Honda Accord, you may be back to getting $60 or $70 a day for it in most markets. So that is going to be combined with this large influx of hosts and vehicles. So we're going to be in for a rocky transition period when things begin to normalize. But what my hope is that over the last 6 or 9 months, we have captured so much market share away from the traditional rental car companies that the people who tried Turo for the first time this past summer because they had to and there was no other rental cars available, hopefully if the hosts did their jobs and created 5-star experiences, those people will never go back to Enterprise again. They'll always just pull out their phone and book a Turo car. So I'm hoping that though our inventory has grown, I'm hoping that our market share has grown as well. So that's all kind of coming. I think that a lot of the hosts who have come on board in the last few months, there's going to be a percentage of those that are going to attrition out. They'll realize that, this wasn't for me. I didn't like this. So I think the next 6 to 9 months are going to be volatile, but I think Turo is going to be just fine. And the hosts who are taking this seriously, who are 5-star hosts, who are all-star hosts running this as a business, you're going to be just fine.
So this is what I have for the timing on Turo going public. The draft S1 was submitted on August 9th of 2021. Typically it takes 25 days for the SEC to provide initial comments, and then the business has the opportunity to get the feedback, and they have a chance to respond. That process typically takes about 10 to 14 weeks to complete. So if today was August 25th, which it's not because there were a few delays in me getting this video out, I expect to see the S1 around November, December. So those dates still stand up. And if you'd like to continue following the IPO listing of Turo, be sure to subscribe to this channel and give the video a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. So the last thing I wanted to cover was the autonomous vehicle implementation predictions, which was published on September 1st of 2021. In this report, in Exhibit 1, it describes the 5 levels of autonomous driving. So on page 13 of the report, Traffic, Safety, and Security, it says that Optimus claimed that because human error contributes to 90% of the crashes, autonomous vehicles will reduce crash rates and insurance costs by 90%. But this overlooks additional risk these technologies can introduce, and some of those are listed here: hardware and software failures, malicious hacking, increased risk-taking, so on and so forth. So in conclusion, we have about a decade before autonomous vehicles will be sufficiently reliable, affordable, common, and displace most human driving, providing huge savings or cost benefit. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Is Turo a good investment? And I'll see you in the next video.